The Dallas real estate market is shifting. Are you ahead of the curve? Whether you're buying or selling, here's exactly what you need to know to make your next move with confidence. This is what I'm covering, and if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll get my 3 key takeaways for both buyers and sellers. Let's get started with closed home sales. So there were 659 single-family home sales that closed in Dallas in March of 2025. That was down 4% from March of 2024. So when I drilled down into the closed home sales by neighborhood, I found kind of a mixed bag of results. East Dallas held its #1 position for closed sales, but sales were down about 14% from the same time last year. Far North Dallas was on fire in March as sales increased 21%. Oak Cliff saw a big rebound in closed sales, which is good to see because activity in this area has gone down every month since November of 2024. Northwest Dallas had another strong performance in March, while closed home sales dipped in Lake Highlands and North Dallas. So the number of closed sales is only one component of a complex market. Let's take a look at inventory or the months of supply available in these areas, because months of supply is what determines if we're in a buyer's or a seller's market. In March, there was 4.1 months of supply of homes available for sale in the city of Dallas. So that means that if no other homes were to come on the market, it would take 4.1 months to sell all of the homes currently listed. So if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that 6 months equals a housing market that is balanced between supply and demand. More than 6 months of supply means that prices are dropping and that market conditions are more favorable for home buyers. And less than 6 months of inventory means that prices are still rising and conditions are favorable for home sellers. Supply was up month over month and year over year. However, at 4.1 months, Dallas was still considered a seller's market. Now, is it the kind of seller's market we had when there was less than 1 month of inventory available and interest rates were artificially low? No. But 4.1 months of supply also doesn't mean that conditions have shifted completely into a buyer's favor. So let's dive a little deeper into a few of the areas that do have more supply or inventory and what's going on there. In March, Oak Lawn held its position atop the months of supply list for Dallas neighborhoods. This area is considered a buyer's market because of the amount of inventory that's available and because higher levels of inventory for a sustained period has impacted the average sale price. Stay tuned because I'll get into sale prices in more detail later in this video. Oak Cliff is trending towards a buyer's market. At 5.3 months, supply is getting pretty close to that 6-month equilibrium, and the average sale price in Oak Cliff has trended down every month since October of 2024. Northwest Dallas could also be trending towards a buyer's market. Year over year, inventory in this area increased nearly 70%, and that's a pretty big jump. However, unlike Oak Lawn and Oak Cliff, we aren't seeing a tremendous impact in the average sale price in this area yet, which means that demand remains strong and that buyers are still gobbling up the new construction homes in Northwest Dallas. Inventory was up in other areas as well. However, these areas continue to show sale price appreciation. So looking ahead, what's normal for our market is for inventory to trend up through spring and summer and then start to go down in the fall. So in some of these areas where there is already higher inventory, buyers may see more deals as we move deeper into the spring and summer markets. Let's talk about days on market. On average, it took 48 days for a home to go under contract in Dallas in March. Days on market was up year over year in all Dallas neighborhoods except Northwest Dallas. The typical seasonal trend is for days on market to go down throughout spring and summer as more people look to make a move between school years when they have more inventory to choose from. So one of the market statistics that demonstrates the resiliency of our housing market is the list to sale price ratio. This number represents the percentage of the seller's original asking price that buyers paid in March. Again, throughout all of the major neighborhoods in Dallas, buyers paid between 94 and 97% of the seller's original asking price. That range is still quite strong, which means that there are not a lot of sellers listing their homes for horribly unrealistic prices. So sale prices are probably on the minds of a lot of Dallas homeowners right now because the appraisal district is starting to send out market value assessments for property taxes. In March, The average sale price for a home in Dallas was around $692,000, which was up nearly 4% year over year. 3 to 5% annual appreciation is what is historically normal for our market when interest rates are not artificially low to stimulate borrowing and the economy. So knowing the average sale price for the area as a whole is helpful for homeowners, buyers, and sellers, but what's more helpful is knowing what's going on in your area. So let's take a look. Year over year, the average sale price was up in 4 of the 7 neighborhoods tracked in this Dallas real estate update. It was flat in 2 areas and down in 1. These results are similar to what I reported in my last market update video, so there's not been a lot of movement from one month to the next. The average sale price was up in Northwest Dallas, East Dallas, Far North Dallas, and Lake Highlands. It was flat in North Dallas and Oak Cliff, and it was down, although holding, in Oak Lawn. Again, prices being down in Oak Lawn is a direct reflection of the amount of inventory available in that area. Okay, so what does all this mean for homeowners, buyers, and sellers in Dallas as we move deeper into spring market? Here are my 3 key takeaways for home buyers. Number 1, you may have more buying power in certain neighborhoods. Neighborhoods like Oak Lawn, Oak Cliff, and Northwest Dallas are trending toward or already in buyer's market territory due to increased inventory. This may give buyers looking in those areas more options and room to negotiate. Number 2, expect better deals in spring and summer. As inventory continues to rise during the spring and summer, buyers may find more negotiating leverage and potential price reductions, especially in neighborhoods already showing signs of softening demand. Number 3, prices are holding steady in some areas more than others. Despite higher inventory, the list to sale price ratio remains strong at 94 to 97%, which means that homes are still selling close to the seller's asking price. Buyers should come prepared and realistic. Deep discounts may not be widespread. Now here are my 3 key takeaways for home sellers. Number 1, Dallas is still a seller's market, but not like 2021. With 4.1 months of inventory, Dallas is still technically a seller's market, but it is a more balanced environment than in past years. Sellers need to price competitively and prepare for longer marketing times. Number 2, neighborhood performance varies widely. Homeowners in areas like Far North Dallas, East Dallas, and Lake Highlands are seeing price appreciation and stronger demand, which can support firmer pricing and quicker sales if listings are market ready. And number 3, keep an eye on inventory and list strategically. In higher inventory neighborhoods like Oak Lawn, where prices have declined and flattened, timing and presentation matter more now than ever. Sellers in these areas need to price aggressively, market strategically, and possibly consider concessions to stand out. That's all I have for you today. Thank you again for watching, and if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel, or have a monthly market update delivered to your inbox by subscribing to my newsletter. There is a link in the video description below. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.